What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cypher. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute. It's probably been like maybe a week and a half. I was supposed to drop a video last week. I'm gonna get into that real quick before I actually get into the topic. I felt that I put myself on a huge routine to follow, and I was getting burnt out. Honestly, I was. I was following the routine to a T, and eventually I felt myself it just caught up with me, and I just needed a break. I needed a break from everything. It was nothing against anything I was working on. It was nothing against any of my friends. It was nothing. It was all personal. It was all like, hey, you're working a little too hard, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I always want to work. I always want to get my hands on something. I always want to complete something. But at the same time, you have to look out for yourself, and you have to make sure that you're not burning yourself out. So that's why this video is just coming out now instead of last week. I just need a break. I just need time for myself. I just need time to recoup, and I'm glad I did. I feel 10 times better. So welcome back to the channel, guys. Real quick, we're just gonna get into the topic. So obviously it's self-care Sunday, right? Take care of ourselves regardless. I have a question for you guys. What is something you guys have never been able to do when you were a kid? For me, it was the monkey bars, right? Could never do it. I could always just get in the one and then two, and then I'd slip and I'd fall, or I just didn't have the upper body strength for it, and I just couldn't do the monkey bars. I had a younger brother. He was killer on the monkey bars. He's just been athletic his entire life, so he would always just glide across that. Me, on the other hand, couldn't do it. So there's a couple parks near my house. Saw the monkey bars there, and well, we'll just see you guys in the next clip. Okay guys, so we're here at the park. As you see, we got the monkey bars. So look, I was never the most athletic kid growing up. I always played sports, but I was never the most athletic kid. And one thing I could never do as a kid, at least from as much as I remember, was I could never do the monkey bars. I just never had the strength for it. So, man, I'll say the last time I've ever did monkey bars was 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't even think I did it. So we're just gonna go ahead and see if I can do it. All right, so we did it. Either I was gonna do it or I wasn't gonna do it. So here we are. Okay, guys, as you see, I completed the monkey bars. It wasn't really the smoothest, but at the same time, I got it done, and I was like, you know what, I did it. And that literally slides into this topic, which is embracing your failures, right? Multiple times I have failed at something. I have failed at something in life, right? Whether it was a job, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a relationship, whether it was homework or school, just something, anything. I have failed. And we're gonna get into that in the conclusion, right? So real quick, I just have some questions to ask you guys. Raise your hand if this applies to you. How many of us have been afraid to try new food? How many of us have been afraid to talk to the opposite sex? How many of us have been afraid to stand up for yourself? How many of us have been afraid to start a new hobby? How many of us have been afraid to see that hobby all the way through? How many of us have been afraid when it comes to your full potential? How many of us have been afraid to take that first step? How many of us have been afraid of failure? Okay. Keep your hands raised, guys, if this applies to you. How many of us are not afraid to break that cycle? How many of us are ready to see that hobby all the way through? How many of us are ready to seek improvement when we're complacent? And finally, how many of us are not afraid to reach our full potential no matter the outcome? Okay. Guys, I hope your hands was raised. Because my hand is raised. Now it's starting to hurt. Just keeping it up. It's just like, But no, all that applied to me. This is why my hand is still raised, right? That's the whole reason I wrote these questions out. I sat here for a second and I was just like, what are some questions I really need to ask myself? What are questions that I did ask myself back in the day? And do those questions still apply to me now? And they did. Hopefully you guys can find some like relatability to it. If you did, and if you guys actually participated and raised your hands, dude, I appreciate you. Even just comment down below if you raised your hand. That would mean the world to me. Pretty much in conclusion, guys, a lot of what I've done, a lot of what I've tried to accomplish in my life has just been failures, right? And I think part of that stems from not knowing what the future holds, not knowing if I'm going to complete my task, not knowing if I'm going to see it all the way through, and not knowing if I'm just going to give it my all. With YouTube, I thought maybe twice I had thought like, yo, like I'm not going to get it done. I'm not going to exceed my expectations. I'm not going to get the numbers that I want. I'm not going to get the viewership that I want. I'm not going to get the engagement that I want. I'll be honest, those ran through my head, but I don't allow them to. Like, that's human. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have those doubts, but if you let those doubts eat at you and you let those doubts become your reality, then you can't question why it's failed, right? Because I know, let me take you guys back real quick. All of my failures have led me to this point, right? I'm a very passionate individual when it comes to just my hobbies, and most of the time I've wanted to turn my hobbies into a career. But because I've been afraid of taking those steps, because I've been afraid of the rejection, I haven't seen it all the way through. But therefore, it has led me to this point. It has led me to start this channel. It has led me to get into the bit of editing that I know. And honestly, I can only be thankful. Like, I can only appreciate the fact that I have failed over and over and over, because it's brought me to this point. It's brought me to YouTube. It's brought me to, creating content for you guys. It's brought me to engaging with my audience. Like, how can I not be thankful for that? I could mope. I could be sad that, my life could have gone this way if I had seen this through, or my life could have gone that way if I had finished it, or if I had just not been afraid of my potential, or not been afraid of rejection, right? But I'm not going to think about that anymore, right? I'm going to think about now. I'm going to think about the content that I want to push out to you guys. That's why I took that break. That's why I was like, just take a few days, recuperate, journal, read, and then if it really means that much to you, get back to it, right? And here I am. I knew exactly, like, after those few days, I was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do for a hobby. So, guys, don't be afraid of embracing your failures, right? Because your failures are going to bring you to this very point. They brought me here. They brought me, all my viewers who watch my channel, my failures have led me to you. And the only thing I can say is thank you to my failures. Thank you to the lessons. Thank you to everything. Thank you to the failed relationships. Thank you. You have made me into who I am now, and you'll continue to mold me into the man that I want to be. So, guys, I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to me down below in the comments. Let me know something that you're afraid of. Let me know something that you have failed at, and where it's pushed you into, the next direction. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, it was good talking with you guys. I'll see you later. I'm out. Guys, I almost forgot. You all are beautiful, and you all are appreciated. Okay, now I'm out.